Hello, my name is Brendan Lusk, and I'm doing this as part of my special project for the Almond Leadership Program. I grew up in the South Bay area, so I didn't grow up in almond farming, but I did marry into it later on. What inspired me to do this project was traveling between the San Joaquin Valley and the Bay Area. I saw a major gap in understanding between California agriculture and urban life, particularly in almond farming. In order to investigate, I set out to get the perspectives of both almond farmers and people in urban areas. In the first part of this video, you'll get to see the interviews that I had with the almond growers.
Being a fourth generation farmer here in Stanislaus County. My great-grandfather started in Ripon in 1921.
I got into farming almonds because of my family. We grow almonds, and I grew up on the orchard, so it's been a part of my life since I was very young.
No one else wanted to farm, and I loved it. I did construction and did everything else under the sun, and always found myself back on the farm. So that's how I got into it, luckily.
Typical day looks like running around making sure on water timing and making sure the trees are fed correctly with the correct amount of fertilizer, taking samples, checking the tree for healthiness and moisture, looking at the nut, looking at the progress, looking at how we can improve. Like we are right now, we're actually sitting out here, we're irrigating in the walnut orchard. A lot of my time is spent either in the office going over paperwork and studying new things and programs and stuff, and keeping the crews going and irrigating.
There really is no typical day during the growing season. The work and the workload consistently change depending on what has been done, what's being done, and what still needs my attention.
And making sure everything's done, sprayed, irrigated, just the scheduling part and making sure the money's there to pay the bills.
We have seasonal vehicles with the new carb laws and stuff like that. The best example I can use is we had a 91 Peterbilt we used for hauling the harvester from ranch to ranch. We put 600 miles on it a year. And carb wants me to replace it with a $100,000 truck for a truck we drive 600 miles a year. It just don't pencil.
Just making good, sound decisions, because you don't know what tomorrow holds, you don't know what the weather's going to be, and so you almost have to know about it or being able to ask somebody about it.
Well, back whenever the prices were high and you were getting that $4.50 a pound almond market, it was misconstrued that, everybody's making millions. Everybody's a millionaire. They're an almond farmer, they're a millionaire. What they don't know is, with all the prices of the costs and everything going up on production, that, on paper it looks great, but physically it's not. Yeah, we had some great years there. We did some great turnarounds, but it's a never-ending battle, especially in the state of California.
A big misconception is that farming almonds supposedly has a negative impact on the environment. The truth is, many of us live on or near our orchards. We raise our families here, so protecting the land, air, and water is a top priority. We rely on sustainable practices not just because it is good for the environment, but because it's essential for the long-term health of our communities and our farms. We're deeply connected to the land, and we're constantly looking for ways to farm more responsibly.
When it comes down to water usage, it's always in a negative fashion. Means I sit on a water board to see the ins and outs of what goes on with the fight against the state water board. It's an appointed position, not an elected position, so you have a bunch of appointees in there trying to tell us what we can do with our water, what we should do with our water, when they don't even have an understanding of what to do with our water.
Stricter rules around fumigation have made it increasingly difficult to use fumigants, yet there are no substitutes that are as effective or cost efficient in most situations.
Farmers, they get paid once a year, and that money has to be spread throughout the whole year, not including pay for last year. So I don't gamble, I don't go to the casino, If I were, I don't drink beer, but I would buy a beer before I'd throw money in the machine. But farming is like the biggest gamble.
It would be a better understanding of the care and responsibility involved in every aspect of farming. Many of us live right here on our orchard, so protecting the land and environment is a personal commitment.
If we can get things to change in the state and finally get back to where we were in the 80s, you know, when we had good government and less regulations and stuff.
I'm hopeful. You know, I'm hopeful that things will turn around, the prices will go up, and everyone comes together and know that we can't live without farming and ag.
After the interviews that I had with the almond growers, I wanted to get the perspectives of the people in the urban areas. I went to the store and I bought a poster board and wrote, "Ask me about almond farming." I also attached factual data about almond farming to the back of my poster board to educate the public about almond farming. In order to complete my mission, I headed over to the Bay Area, over to some local farmers markets to conduct my street interviews.
Tell me about almond farming.
Yeah. So my family grows almonds in Modesto.
Yeah.
We grow walnuts as well.
Okay.
Right now we're almost in harvest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. What's the company's name?
It's just my father-in-law's name, Warren Sons.
Warren Sons.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
So I come from my wife's family's almond farm in Modesto. We're actually almost in a harvest season right now. Yeah, almonds, 70% of them, they get exported. It brings a lot of revenue to our economy, helps make California stronger, bring jobs. And we also too, like with the byproducts of almonds, like you have the holes, like what covers the shell that covers the almond. It gets also used for animal feed as well. So we try to make it sustainable, as much uses as possible for it.
Good.
Yeah.
Proper farming. Huh? Sounds like the way we're supposed to be doing it.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. No. Cool. Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys out here helping people understand. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thank you. How's it going?
About almond farming.
Yeah.
All I know is we got plenty of almonds.
We have a lot of almonds.
All up and down Highway 5, you see them.
Yep.
I mean,
True.
I think they're probably on a drip system by now.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of people saying, oh yeah, almonds use a lot of water. A lot of farmers have switched over like micro sprinklers or dual line drips.
Because they are an intensive water crop. If you just drip ain't bad.
Yeah, that's...
But 20 years ago, it was kind of a travesty, what they were doing. So it's good. It's good that they finally figured it out.
Yeah, we're always held to high standards, so we try to lead the way to make it sustainable.
Yeah.
We know water. There's not a lot of water out there. There's different laws that have been passed, like the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act, which means we can't even, in certain areas, you can't pull that much water out of your own well. So, you have to live in a good area with a good irrigation district, so you have enough water, but it's a cost to us too, so.
All I know is that we must be the almond capital of the world.
Oh, we are.
We have to be, because I just came back from Alturas.
Okay.
We go south, and every time we go both directions, damn, whatever happened to apricot trees and shit like that?
There's a apricot, like you go like Yuba City, Marysville, there's a lot over there.
It's, I know they keep planting so much, where's them poor ducks gonna land? Have a good day.
You too. Yes, I finally got that was a good interaction. Those conversations that I had were definitely interesting. I found that many people were just simply curious. That one gentleman who had the more challenging questions too, I had a great conversation with him. But there were a lot of people who they just simply didn't ask questions. Maybe they were curious, or maybe perhaps they didn't know what to ask. These conversations are beneficial to help the urban public and almond farmers to help understand each other. I hope this is a step in the right direction and bridges the gap. Thank you for watching.